There are over 50 US military facilities across Australia, the most important being Pine Gap near Alice Springs in Central Australia. They have been set up since the 1960s. Little information is made public about the bases and secrecy has been used to protect them from public knowledge and opposition. They are used for targeting, spying, and to station US troops and military equipment in our country. Liberal and National Party governments and Labor governments support the bases because they believe our country's future relies on the US. However, these bases serve US interests. They do not act on behalf of Australia and they do not make us safer. Today, we know that Pine Gap has been working to assist the Israeli massacre of Gaza. It is providing targets, intelligence on the whereabouts of our Hamas members and more. This makes our country complicit in genocide, and our Prime Minister, Albanese, is facing charges before the International Criminal Court for just that, for genocide. For 40 years, Australians have been campaigning to expose the US bases, to make their work public knowledge and to finally get them closed down. This long-determined campaign began with the Long March to the Northwest Cape base in the 1970s, followed by the Women for Survival camp at Pine Gap in 1983. In 1987, people from all around Australia formed the Australian Anti-Bases Campaign Coalition, which operated continuously till the pandemic struck in 2020. The Anti-Bases group organised campaigns against US bases, US military exercises, the US-Australian alliance, and in solidarity with similar campaigns in Fiji, the Philippines, Ecuador, and other countries against excessive military spending and the frequent conflicts that break out because of the US determination to dominate the world. This has been 40 years of determined work against the US military-industrial complex and its tentacles in this country. It has been a David and Goliath contest where the ordinary citizens of Australia battled this demon of militarisation. It should not go unnoticed, should not be forgotten, and should not fade into the mist of time as new generations step up to continue the battle for a peaceful and independent Australia. The Anti-Bases campaign is now moving online. Our office in Sydney is closing and the records will be stored and archived for future researchers. Now is the time that a record be made of the impact and experiences of the Anti-Bases campaign. We have found a wonderful volunteer, researcher, writer, and we have a grant from the Quakers Jan de Vogue Fund. But this will not cover the costs of the project we have in mind. We need to raise another $5,000. We are appealing to our supporters and friends to donate to the production of a book on the history of the campaign to rid Australia of US military bases. We believe that this book will be an encouragement to others to keep the pressure up to evict these dangerous carbuncles on our land. I look forward to hearing from you and for your financial support. We have been working to rid Australia of these terrible bases for 40 years. Please give as generously as you can to this project. Thank you very much, and peace to everyone. And long may there be a ceasefire in Palestine and a resolution of the problems there. Thank you.